Okay, so after the bitter confrontations between the Muslim world and the Christian world during the Crusades in the Middle Ages, some reasonable people, including myself, suggested dialogue instead of confrontation. And some priests went from the Vatican to Saudi Arabia, some others went to Cairo, Al-Azhar, and some came to Morocco, and I went to Paris. The theme was the comparison between the holy books, the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran and science. This book by Dr. Maurice Bucaille, La Bible, le Coran et la Science, is one of those items of dialogue between the three monotheistic religions, that is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. To tell you a little bit about Maurice Bucaille, he was a doctor who practiced surgery for 40 years at the hospitals of Paris. He has many books, including this one that he wrote in 1976. The thing that pushed him to this study and comparison is the piety that he noticed in his Muslim patients that was not found in non-Muslim patients. And this pushed him to study the Arabic language first and then study the Quran, and came with very interesting conclusions. So if he starts with the Old Testament, and he says that that is the Torah, it presents some serious contradictions, internal contradictions, and contradictions with modern science, and this was recognized by many serious scholars. Well, first, the writings of the Old Testament knew many transformations, and it took 2,000 years to write. And finally, the first translation of the Torah to the Greek language was done by 70 Jewish scholars at Alexandria in Egypt, and it was known as the Septuagint, 70 scholars. Said that many things were noticed in the Old Testament, to the extent that someone called Karlstadt, nobody knows what's going on, what the hell is going on. But Saint Augustine was very wise. He says, when I find some contradiction in the Holy Book, I'm sure that the text is either false, or that the translator made a mistake, or that my intelligence didn't reach that level. Very wise. Now, moving very quickly to the New Testament, it consists of 4 canonical Gospels, that is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But usually people say that Saint Paul's writings superseded the rest in the Bible. Now, there is one Bible that was violently excluded from the church. It was the Bible of Barnabas. Now, there's one key word I wish to stress in the New Testament, which is called Parakletos, that you will find on page 139. It says that I will pray the Father, and he will send you another Paraclete. That is, Jesus was telling his disciples at the end of his life that he will pray God, Almighty God, and and God will send the people another counselor. Maurice Bucaille says this will be another man, another counselor, just like himself, to ask forgiveness from God in favor of the humans. So we believe that it's Muhammad. Now, moving quickly to the Quran, he said that in the West, in Europe in particular, people were absorbed too much materialistic theories, and they excluded Islam from monotheistic religions. Religion for them was just Christianity and Judaism, to the extent that a philosopher, famous philosopher of the Enlightenment period, Mr. Voltaire, to please Benoit XIV, he wrote Mahomet ou le fanatisme, that is Prophet Muhammad was fanatic. He was just like the fans of Liverpool, people who love something too much and they are not open to discussion. Now, while there was a confrontation between religion, that is the church in Europe, and the scientists like Galileo, Copernicus, etc., Averroes was teaching at the University of Cordoba, and the library contained some 400,000 books. There was no confrontation. Scientist was religious. The science and religion in Islam did not bring any confrontation. There is one word which is actually frightening. It's herim. It's a word that you find in the Old Testament, which describes the holy war, which meant to kill everybody. And that's really something very serious. While jihad, according to Mr. Maurice Bucaille, just to make the effort to spread the truth of God to different areas of the world. Now, going very quickly to a conclusion, whatever criticism the Muslims could level at the Old and New Testament, they have to believe in these books. They are part of their belief. We believe, for instance, in the Ten Commandments that God is one and that you should honor your father, your mother, so that you may prosper. And as Jesus said, إِنَّكَ لَا تَجْنِي مِنَ الشُّوكِ الْعِنَبِ.